Hello guys, welcome to my third video. Today we're going to be talking about the Leopard. This is the ship you get after the second mission. This is pretty much our headquarters until we get upgraded to the Argo. And it's going to be doing us for a good couple of missions yet, so I'm going to just cover this in detail a little bit. There's a bit of information on this screen. This little box down here just pretty much covers where you are. You can't really do a lot. These two icons that you can click in here, you can actually click on them over here, so we'll forget about them at the minute. It shows your funds up here, and it shows tasks that are actually happening. That box will fill up later on, show a little bit of information, and you'll be clicking on that a little bit, but we'll cover that a bit later. I can press play here and the day will start ticking by one at a time, but since we're not doing anything at the minute, we don't want to be pressing that. And up here it just shows a little bit of the day that we're on, day 4 to 29, how much money we need by the end of the month to cover our costs, and our current morale, which I'll go into later on, our current BattleTech level, our current medical level, which is not something that you can change much at the minute. When you get to the Argo, you can get upgrades, and those values will increase. A little picture of our ship. And down here we've got these 6 boxes which you're going to be spending most of your time. The bottom one is the captain quarters, which contains your finances. It's just a list of more detailed view of how much things are costing. As you can see, I've got some mechs in my bay. I've got interest repayment to make, which will disappear later on, and I've got some guys to pay, and all that adds up to 240k, which is the same amount as you can see on the main screen. The other thing you can see in the captain's quarters is reputation. At the minute it's pretty much down to nothing. I've got a 15 rated there, and all this does, this reputation, is it decreases the value of things you're going to be buying in store, and I think it might even increase the value of stuff that he's selling. I think it only gets to 10%, so it's not something you need to be focused on at the minute. And you can customize your company, change your mech colors and insignias, all that kind of stuff. The second one is navigation. Once it come out there, second one's navigation. It's just got a star map in it. You can have a little look at where you are and where other things are. I can't fly out of this system at the minute. We've got one contract we can fly to. I don't generally use this star map to get around, if I'm honest. And you don't want to be floating around aimlessly in the beginning. Later on you can go exploring and do whatever you want, but it takes like 17 days to travel to this alleyway. And if I do that, obviously I'm not going to be making any money. I might get there. There might be some missions to do, but I don't want to be floating around because I've got a definite contract here, so I'm going to be going there in a minute. But like I said, it's not a screen I use much. So to the top two, we won't be spending a lot of time there. The mech bay. This shows you mech loadouts. I've got a couple of mechs that just need repair. I'm just going to do that now. It's not something I'm going to go into detail with. You can figure all this stuff out by yourself. I need to refit this guy. He actually lost a few things, but I'm just going to do that fast because this is something I want to go into more detail about later on. I'll be covering that in not the next tutorial, the tutorial after that. So we'll come back to the mech bay. Let's go to the barracks. We've covered already in the last tutorial with the character skills. I think I've got some points to spend. I'll come back to that later. In the command center there's the contracts, and then we got the hiring hall and the store. Go to the hiring hall. There's a couple of guys in here. When you go to pick a guy, don't be picking a guy with like 7.
Yeah.
Unless you actually want like the 7 gunnery guy, would be kind of cool. But if you pick up a guy, you can see he's already got a perk, and if you go back to my last tutorial, it shows all the kinds of perks that you want to do. So don't make the mistake of picking up a guy and finding that he's got a perk that you can't change. So just take a little bit of care. It's always better, I think, just to get a guy who's like this guy, 29k. Just hire him and build him up. But you don't really need to buy one off the bat because you can save and load, etc. if your pilots get injured. I mean, it's very rare that they die. And you can pick one up from any system, so you're never going to run out of guys, really. The other option is the store. This is something you're going to be seeing a lot of. Never ever buy any parts from this store. It's too expensive. And equipment, because you begin a lot of this stuff off from your battles. And there's nothing really that's quite useful. The only thing you need to keep an eye out for is, for instance, there's none here, but for instance, this M laser sometimes, or things that you use a lot of, will have a plus or a plus plus on it. Those pluses give extra values like extra damage or extra crit or something like that. So if you see something with a plus or a plus plus or a plus 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 on the side of it, check it out, and if it's something you use, buy it. Don't go extortionate buying things you don't use. Like I don't play long range missile, so if I saw a long range missile with a plus plus plus, I probably still wouldn't pick it up, to be honest. And the other thing to keep an eye out for is equipment. Sometimes there's some really groovy shit in here. You can picked up a 10% heat reduction mod in here. You don't see them that often, they're very rare, but just every time you jump into a system, just have a quick view of the store, see if there's anything worthwhile picking up. You can also sell your mechs in here. If you get to the end of the month, find yourself in a bit of trouble and you can't cover the cost, you can always come in here and sell all your equipment. I mean, as you can see already, I've got 4 heat sinks and 6 AC2 ammos, so it doesn't give you a lot, but it could help you out of a sticky situation. You can also sell your mechs in here as well. And that's it. So yeah, every time you jump into the system, just take a little peek in the store and see if there's anything of interest in there. And the last but not least is the command center. And in here we're going to be sorting out our contracts. On this screen it shows the current contract list, which is going to be populated, but at the minute there's only one. And it shows that this contract is out to the system, depicted by this yellow icon and this yellow arrow. And if you come down here, it says this contract includes travel to Belorphin. It's going to take 12 days to get there. There's a couple of things: a mission type assassinate, the terrain type desert, and that one skull. It's supposed to depict how difficult it's going to be, but I found that a little bit misleading, to be honest. At the minute the max pay is 177k with one salvage piece and a reputation of +8, but we'll be fiddling around with those figures now because you wouldn't have seen this before. So I think I'm ready. My mechs are being fixed. My characters need a bit of training, but I'll do that after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to negotiate my rewards at the end of the next mission, and what you'll see here are 2 slider bars. Now I don't know if I can actually bring that down to 0 or no, but you can actually bring those 2 slider bars down to 0 and the rep bonus will increase. Now this is something I didn't really bother with at all through my first playthrough, and it didn't have a massive effect. I'm not too bothered about reputation or the price of things, so generally I just play with these 2 sliders. What I normally do is knock it down to the lowest payment possible, which is going to be 16 grand, and raise it so that I get the most from the rewards from the stuff that you get at the end, like lasers and mech parts and all that kind of like salvage, for instance, is the word I was looking for. So to maximize the amount of salvage I'm going to get, I'm going to drop that down, and as you can see, at the minute, at the end of this next mission, I'm going to get 4 pieces of salvage, and out of those 4 pieces, I can pick one, pretty much, because what's going to happen is you're going to get like 20 pieces, like M lasers, body parts or blueprints, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be like 20 of them, but what this is saying is that I'm only going to be allowed to take 6. And out of those, and I'm only going to be able to pick 1 out of that list of 20 for myself. So I can pick 1, and the other 5 parts will be given to me randomly by the computer. Some missions you can get that up to 4, 5, 6, or 7. It'll be like 7, and it'll give you like 20 parts. But this mission's actually quite low. I mean, there you go. It's like 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6. But the most important part is the ability to pick your part, because you want to be picking up blueprints, really, because when you get 3 blueprints, you get a mech, and if it's like a 70 tonner or a 65 tonner, those mechs go for about 500 to 800k, which always works out a little bit more than what you're getting from the mission rewards. Obviously at the beginning you want to keep a little eye on your funds, so if you are doing this, knocking that down there, you're only going to get 16k, you're not going to get a lot of money, and you're probably only going to pick up 1 blueprint. So in the very beginning, just be a little bit careful, just keep it in the middle, just make sure you've got at least 1 option there. You don't want that, for instance. I mean, that's awful. Let's take that, maybe a little bit lower, 40k loss, yeah, take that. I'll keep it in the middle, and then just click accept. And off we go. Like I said, it was going to take, was it 12 days to get there? As you can see now, this light gun has gone from orbit into transit. I'll tell you what, I'll just press escape. Little thing I forgot to say is when you're floating around in space, just do a quick sneaky save, because sometimes these little dialogue boxes come up that require your interaction, and the rewards from them are actually quite good. But you don't know what the rewards are until you've taken a guess of what the correct option is, if you know what I mean. Some of the rewards are actually quite good, like plus morale, stuff like that. So I'm just going to shoot off the system. Yep, that's my dog howling. And there you go. It's just come up with one of these reward thingamabobs I was just talking about, and as you can see, you can read this for yourself. I think this is pretty mandatory in the options that you get. I know the bottom one is the right one to pick, so I'm just going to take that. I'm just going to carry on. There you go. And we've arrived in our system. Oh, no, actually our mechs have been repaired, so you can see the timeline. It's going to take one more day together, so just click on play. And there we go. So this little pop-up box has appeared. We can proceed straight away, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm just going to nip out of there. I'm just going to go to the store, take a little quick peek to see if there's anything. There you go, there's an AC5++ there. I'm just going to buy that. It's a bit pricey for 200k, but I'm just going to risk it and get it. And later on I'm going to stick that on a mech. I'm not going to do it at the minute. I'll play with it later. I'm just going to click on equipment to see if there's anything useful. No, just double check that again. There's some mech parts, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to get that from salvage. And that's pretty much it. So let's pop back to the Leopard's main screen, and I'm going to launch that contract now. And I'm not going to record the next game. You can just play it through yourself. And but what I'll do is the next video is going to show what to take from the salvage options. So enjoy. I'll see you there.